Our last video talked about all the Wookiee Jedi in Star Wars, though I did forget to mention an unnamed background character from the later Legends period, my bad. And today we're going to continue talking about our favorite walking carpets, this time looking at some Wookiee technology. With episode 3, we got to see some cool Wookiee airspeeders, including the Ovor catamaran and the Radon-Nast fluttership, but the focus of today's video is going to be an elite Wookiee fighter, the Owul Interceptor. We see some other instances of Wookiee technology in Galactic Battlegrounds, an old Star Wars RTS game based on the Age of Empires engine, where the Wookiees were a whole playable faction. But even there, we rarely see instances of Wookiee ships or vehicles in space, especially helping in larger battles or around the galaxy. The Owul is especially notable not just for changing this, but for the prominent role they played in the Jedi Coalition's forces in particular. It's worth talking a bit about the background for this period first, Legacy of the Force, where the Owul appears, taking place 10 years after the Yuuzhan Vong War. The Yuuzhan Vong War showed several parts of the galaxy that, as much as they may try to stay out of galactic military affairs, like the Hutts for instance, this may protect them from the major galactic powers, but it isn't enough to stop incursions from outside forces bent on wholesale conquest and destruction. Many in the galaxy began working in its wake towards developing new weapons, tech, and ship classes. For the major governments, this meant things like the Imperial Turbulent class, or the Mon Calamari Heavy Carrier class, which most notably included the Blue Diver. Other more local groups began to demand more ability to arm themselves and work towards their own new tech. The Mandalorians developed the Bessulik Starfighter as the first prototype among what was supposed to be many. The Corellians began to arm themselves wholesale, leading to the Second Galactic Civil War, among other factors. The Hutts mobilized their military for the first time in millennia, and New Haven ship classes like the Stella and Beta were mentioned for the first time, though it's unknown with those two exactly how long they existed for beforehand. They could have just been older ship classes that only turned up in those pieces of media. It was in this context, and the outbreak of the Second Galactic Civil War, that the Wookiee Owul turned up. The Owul were relatively heavily armed for interceptors of their shape and size. On top of the standard fighter lasers, they had additional ion cannons and the ability to carry Jedi shadow bombs. They were also equipped with hyperdrives, which is common for most fighters at the time, but they do indicate a Wookiee desire to take part in broader galactic affairs beyond just the protection of Kashyyyk, which they were used for in the Battle of Kashyyyk during the Second Galactic Civil War. On top of this fabulous artwork we're seeing right now of the Battle of Kashyyyk from Darren Tan for the Essential Guide to Warfare, which is full of his amazing illustrations for major Legends moments, the concept art he had approved for it was also released. I love to see this kind of behind-the-scenes stuff, so it was really cool for me to see this. The Wookiee pilots and their Owuls played a major role not just in the defense of Kashyyyk, but also in the defense of the Jedi base at Shido Mad during the assault by Jacen Solo and his forces, where the Wookiee fighters were part of the Jedi's distraction force, while Jaina Solo went aboard Jacen's flagship, the Anakin Solo, to confront and kill her brother. That's going to do it for today. It's a pretty obscure topic, so not a huge amount is known. Either way, I hope you have enjoyed this look at the Wookiee Owul Interceptor and the circumstances that surrounded its arrival on the galactic scene. If so, consider leaving a like or subscribing for more. If you have any other suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comments as well. I'm going to try to do a few more videos like this, just quick rundowns of specific topics that I find interesting, between the more analytical videos like the one on the ties or Vader's sacrifice. Those tend to take a lot longer to do, which is why there's been fewer coming out. So I'm hoping to find a nice balance and hit the 3 to 4 video per week mark again for the channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.